Hi, I don't know if this lighting's any good. This is the worst thing about trying to do videos, is the lighting. I really haven't mastered the skill. Hang on, let me just rotate this and see if this is better. It just looks different on every app. I set all this up on my flipping camera app and now the YouTube app looks crap. Okay, well, maybe it's because the daylight's behind. I have no idea. Sorry, this is a disaster already. Got to learn, I guess. I guess if I stand in front of it, it's not too bad. It's pretty bad lighting. I might just leave it at that. Unlucky, you're not going to be able to see anything I'm doing, but I'm going to do it because it's practice. So, anyway, so I'm doing my makeup for just the day. I've already moisturised with this stuff, which I don't know if is a very good face moisturiser. As I said before, it's just the one I have, and it's the one that I've always used, so don't know. And then I've also got this SPF on as well on my face, which is 50 plus, which is good. So first step, I'm going to tie my hair up. So I usually tie my hair up directly on top of my head because I find that's the most useful place to put it for this, so I don't end up with hair on my face, but it does look really stupid, so don't judge me. So the first step I'm going to do is, God, the lighting is so bad. Fuck it. The first step I'm going to do is take the shine off my face, which you might be able to see if the lighting's not so bad you can't even see that, with this just like setting powder stuff. So I've got a bit of a gleam at the moment, which definitely looks worse in real life. So I'm just going to use the sponge and just like put some powder on, like this. I guess for like lighting and stuff, maybe I need some kind of, maybe I need to do it in a different room where there's not a big window behind me. That's probably like the worst possible thing. I've just got such a good mirror here in the bathroom. It looks like 1,000 times better in the mirror than it does in the shitty YouTube thing. Also, I need to practice looking into the camera and not looking at the video. So I think I've taken the shine off, which is good. So the next step I'm going to do is going to be whatever I find next. Eyebrows, which is with this thing, Maybelline's dark brown eyebrow pencil thing, which I use with powder brush end. So I'm going to start off with outlining my eyebrows. I haven't warmed up my voice yet today, so it sounds really croaky and crap. I do actually do, on most days I warm up by singing in the car on the way to work. I found it does actually help quite a lot with how my voice sounds. Now it's less likely to be croaky and less likely to make me need to cough and stuff. I don't really know how much to repeat myself, really. Definitely give me as much feedback as you can be bothered to write on Twitter or in the comments here, because I've already done a live stream of pretty much the same look as this, and I was going to explain the eyeshadows more. But maybe it's worth repeating the eyebrows thing over and over again. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing, to be honest. But yeah, anyway, so basically I've drawn an outline of the eyebrow shape that I'm going for using the Tweezers end. And I've focused on the bottom part first, and I've gone for the same shape as last time, which is the one I always do, which is where you try and line up the edges with the corner of your nose and the corner of your eye, like straight up through the centre of your eye for where the arch is, and for the corner of your eye for this part. That's the three sort of lines I go for. I'm going to try and fill this one in. What am I doing? It's like powder in the lid here, and you have to do like dabbing it in over and over again. Quite good though, I think this thing's quite cheap. I am wondering at the moment if maybe my eyebrow colour's too dark or I just draw them on too hard or something. I'm not totally sure. That would also be great feedback if anyone wants to give me that feedback. So I also, as I was saying, I won't keep saying as I was saying last time, I always take my eyebrow further in towards the middle than I plan to leave it so I can blend it out later, just before I try and get them symmetrical. So I'll do the same thing for the other side and it will be not symmetrical and rubbish. And I'll sort them out. You can't really see what's going on, I'll do it over here. Oh, it's not too bad. Whenever I'm doing my eyebrows or my eyeliner or anything that needs to be quite symmetrical, I think it's worth putting like 70% effort into making it symmetrical as you do it. Like, do try, but don't worry as you go. Basically finish them and then come back and make them symmetrical, because it's the best way of making it symmetrical is comparing the two shapes and seeing what needs to change in one shape in order to make it the same as the other one. Whereas if you're just trying to exactly copy the shape, it's just never going to be like the same. So I usually try and do vaguely the same ones and finish them and then compare them and be like, oh, this one's got an extra bump here, so I need to add that onto the other side or possibly take it off. That's pretty good. Yeah, definitely the window behind is a terrible idea and I won't ever do that again. Thanks for the comment. Oh no, that was a terrible. I smudged my nose on the camera. This all looks like I'm... Hang on, I need tissue now. It's the last time I take advice from you lot. Flip neck. Is that back to normal? I can't tell if it's all smudgy still. Oh well, picture's even worse quality now, unlucky everyone. So, basically good now. So they're quite symmetrical. So, I don't know how easy it is to see on here, but this one's got kind of a slightly higher, sharper angle than this one. So I'm going to add to this one in order to try and match that. And this one's tail doesn't quite come as far down. That's pretty good. Might sort out the middles a bit more later. What am I doing? I'm going to put this thing away. So next I'm going to do blush. Number 7's Peach Velvet one. And just like this rounded top brush is what I use for blushing. Take all the cat hairs off first. Flipping Poppy. Everything I have is covered in cat hair, like everything. Even my guitar is covered in cat hair. So another problem with this mirror that I'm using now, which you can't see, so it doesn't really mean anything, is I think like it always makes me look really good, and every other single mirror I seem to look worse in, and particularly I think it like understates lots of makeup. And so I put on like what looks like a really good amount of blush for here, and then I'll go into another room and it'll look like I've like been attacked by someone. It just like completely covered in blush, which is a complete disaster because it looks really kind of like cross-dressery. Then I end up rubbing half of it off and it looks kind of crap around. So I'm trying to make it even more subtle, which you probably can't see at all because the lighting's so terrible. So I'm trying to get back into highlighter. So I'm going to use this highlighter on my cheeks. And I'm also going to use it on my eyes. L'Oreal True Match. It's got like 3 different colours. It's got the least of the best colour and then the most of the worst colour, which is good. That's exactly what I wanted. I'm just going to mix all 3 together like this. And then just do it lightly on here. Here. Gleam. I also might put some just under my eyebrows. So now I'm going to use this brush, which is a brush I use for everything because I really like it. Not particularly this brush, but this style of brush with like the sort of sharp edge on it. So I kind of, for me it's most like painting, and I learned most of my sort of makeup skills from painting, you know, just doing art at school and also painting Warhammer. I find it much easier to blend with this kind of thing, but most people don't, so do use a normal blending brush if you don't find this very easy. I'm just going to get some of this. I'm going to do the corner of my eyes first. I usually do the corner of my eyes quite messily, just kind of slam it on. Can always neaten it up later, but I don't usually bother. I think it's quite subtle and it just kind of gives them, makes them pop out a bit, which is good. And once you've got the eyeliner on, you can't just see this big blob of highlight in the corner, which is fine. Just make sure there's none on my eyelashes. I'm just going to put some lightly under my eyebrows as well, I think. Oh, that is way too much. Oh dear. Trying to blend that out. You can use my finger. I've still probably got too much on there, I think. It's not too bad. Don't know how much you can see. Right, I'm going to do eyeshadow next. So I'm going to do a reasonably eyeshadowy look. Like, it's a weekend. This is kind of like what I'd like to do every single day, but I always kind of feel like I stand out too much if I go too glam. But so I'm going to use this palette, NYX or NYX Ultimate, which just has loads of different like natural colours, browns and stuff. So I'm going to use this one first, and I'm going to just put it on my eyelid. So I want to lighten up my eyelid, and then I'm going to use this one to go on the crease and just above it, and that's going to make my eyes hopefully pop out more, which makes them look bigger and more feminine, so, which is a bonus. But also it just looks nice. I find for me, if I put like if I do like black or dark brown eyeshadow, it just makes my eyes look kind of smaller, and it definitely makes me look, it sets off my you look like a man alarm. And I'm not saying it does that for everyone, some people, but for me, I just, either it doesn't work on me or I don't think it works on me. But either way, I'm not going to do it. I've tried many times. So again, I can be quite like slapdash on putting this light stuff on. I just need enough on there that it's sticking, but not too much that it's like, you know, falling off and going everywhere. It doesn't really matter if it does. The light ones, you can just brush them off. The worst thing is when the dark ones, you get like, as you're putting too much on, the sort of powder falls off and it ends up sprinkled on your face. And you can't necessarily see it, and then as soon as you go like this and smudge it, you end up with all these brown lines across your face. And then what's really bad about that is if it ends up here and then you smudge it and you stand back, it just looks like 5 o'clock shadow, which is the worst. Literally the worst thing that's ever happened to humans. So, as I'm sure you're well aware. Cool. So I've just put like the light one kind of on my eyelids, and it's not really subtle. It's subtle by my standards. It's not like bright white or something. Right, so I'm going to go for the to the crease and just above for this, and then I'm going to blend it up. And I'm going to end up with quite like a strong contrast line across here. And first I'm just going to basically like paint a line, and then I'm going to blend it all out. I had Pringles and hummus to breakfast. That was good. And like 7 pills. Got antibiotics, ibuprofen for my swollen face, some special pills for my hair, which I got from Facial Team, calcium and vitamin D. It's quite a mouthful. Right, so what I usually do is, like, I've just kind of done a line there and I haven't really done any blending, and I do that on both sides because I'm constantly putting more eyeshadow on the brush the whole time that I'm putting it on, and then I won't put any more on and it will blend out while the brush has nothing on it. It's best to blend when there's very little or nothing on the brush. So I guess one thing that maybe I take for granted, and it's quite a classic mistake, is how much stuff you want to put on the brush. You don't want to like have loads and loads, because as soon as it touches your eye, it's all just going to flake off. In fact, I probably put too much in here. I don't know if you can see, but my eye's covered in little flecks there where I put too much on. I'm just going to brush this off with this clean, like really fluffy brush, and you can just go like this. Now they'll all just come off, which is a good trick. And also, if you have just too little on, then it ends up quite patchy. You end up with a dark bit and then a light bit and dark bit, and you have to spend ages blending all together. So definitely practice with like how much powder and stuff you want on the brush. I think that's quite an important overlooked technique. I mean, it's the same with any sort of painting or anything, or like liquid eyeliner and things. If you have too much on, it just globs out. And if you have too little on, you just end up with sort of wispy lines. And it's the same with eyeshadow and with just any palette. Off again. It's got being clumsy. It's good to learn how to be clumsy and get away with it, rather than to have to practice being really intense all the time. Like with this, I just put on slightly too much, slightly over the top. As long as I get a good finish on where I'm aiming, and then some powder flakes down, get rid of it all with a clean brush. And then that does allow me to be a bit more slapdash and a bit more half-assed about it. It's always good to plan how to be half-assed. It's the way to be professionally lazy. Right, so there's kind of some still on my brush, but I'm going to try and like blend out what I have now. I'm so bad for looking in the camera. I keep just like looking myself in the eye instead. I think it's tough because I'm just paranoid that I'm going to like, I don't know, look really stupid and not realise it. Like I have like some thing on my face or something, or there's like something on my teeth and I'm like, ugh! And I'll watch it back and it'd be a complete disaster. Guess that's the fun of live streaming. So I'm just kind of dry brushing over the line that I put in before, just to sort of fade it out. Sort of the vague premise behind blending is you have sort of a hard line, and if you're blending two colours together or just one colour and nothing, you might have like red and blue. You have red all the way up to here, and then blue all the way up to here. And then you just get a dry brush, and then you just want to kind of go up and down like this and side to side like this, gently, just kind of pushing some of the red over here, some of the blue over here, and then you end up with just kind of a blue to red vibe, you know, the purple in the middle kind of. That's the kind of gist of what blending is, and that's kind of what I'm doing here, but with just brown and then into nothing, just kind of blending some of it up. Just going to do a little bit underneath, from edge to halfway. I think something that is easy to miss when you're watching like YouTubers doing makeup and stuff is sometimes they'll be like, oh, now I'm going to put some under my eye. And you think, oh, under my eye. So you just get it and you just go a whole way across under your eye, because that is, I mean, it's technically under your eye. But you miss the fact that they didn't do it the whole way across. They didn't do the same shape the whole way across. They've kind of blended it out or something, and they might not even realise they're doing it either. But sometimes going back and watching exactly what they do and just blindly copying it, and then doing what they say and blindly doing that and seeing what the difference is, you can kind of get an idea of what the important parts are, if that makes sense. Right, so I've decided that I haven't got enough on the top, so I'm going to just make it slightly darker by putting a bit more on. More on. So I always find that eyeshadow looks just kind of crap before you do eyeliner. Like, I wouldn't want to stop here. This would be a rubbish look. Unless you really like this look and this is what you do, and then I think it's great. But for me, I think that I always look rubbish without eyeliner on. Well, then it kind of brings it all together. That's where I'm going to stop for eyeshadow for now. I'm running out of eyeliner, I need to get a new one. It's this waterproof Maybelline, oh dear, I'm going to sneeze. Sorry. Blame Poppy. I'm actually allergic to cats. I just think cats are so good, I can't not have a cat. Anyway, right, so this is my waterproof Maybelline eyeliner, which is running out, so I have to do lots of shaking. So I'm concentrating on just doing the bottom of the line here. So trying to get like a flat line across the bottom part of the shape, and then don't care about the top. And then I'm going to do the same thing the other way up and try and get a flat line across the top and don't care about the bottom. And then they'll merge together, and then you're with two nice straight lines. Basically what I did with my eyebrows. Same concept. At the moment I'm going for a kind of slightly bigger than I used to wing phase. It's kind of drawing big eyeliner wings. Just fun to do. Oh, cock. I have messed that one up. Let's see if I can recover it. Right, so in the corner here I've got like messy line on the top and straight line on the bottom, so I'm just going to go and do what I was saying there. I'm going to try and put a straight line across the top to get rid of that kind of toothed effect. Something I saw on Twitter the other day was, which is definitely very true, is the thicker a lady's eyeliner is, the more mistakes she made that morning, which is so true. If you'd like get a nice thin line on both sides, just like, oh, maybe wasn't the look I was going for, but like it's so rare to just nail that you're just like, oh, that's it, I'm doing this look. And then you do one and it's really perfect, nice, and the other one goes, ugh. So then you have to make it a bit thicker, and then you make the other one a bit thicker, and so on. Right, so I scuffed up in the corner here. I've got the kind of triangle shape, and then I've just got an extra line across the top. So I'm going to go in with a wet wipe. These are just Tesco's basics. Tesco's like the English Walmart, I guess. But we've got Walmart as well, and it's called Asda. Or if you're in Bristol, it's called Asdols, because they put an L on the end of things. But then when I say things with an L on the end, I say it as a W, so there's a whole mix of accents there. Asdol is what they'll call it in Bristol, and I call it Bristol and Asdol. That wasn't very exciting. I'm just saying saying that because we've been talking about accents on Twitter recently. Right, just gonna change the shape here a little bit. I think so much, particularly with eyeliner, like the first time you do it, or the first 100 times you do it, it's just going to be bad. You just have to keep doing something and then trying to look at the difference between what you've done and what looks good on someone else. Be like, oh, okay, there's slightly rounder here, their flick goes slightly higher up. You know, so I'm aiming for the corner of my flick as if it was going to intersect the eyebrow. Doesn't always look good on everyone, but I think it looks good on me. And then you just need to go and do it, and it'll be a disaster, and then you need to work out whether it's because it looks bad on you because you've done it badly. Probably both. And then you need to just not stress about it, because so many people are so bad at makeup. So that's really a really uninspiring, derogatory thing to say. What I mean is that you can look great with like not technically intense makeup just because it looks good on you. I don't know, I probably didn't recover that at all. I'm not that judgmental, I promise. You don't need to be as good at makeup if you're naturally beautiful. That's probably making it even worse. Oh my god, right. Completely ignore everything I said for the last 5 minutes. Getting wings symmetrical is a real quest because... So I'm just reading your comments. Yeah, just keep, so when I first sort of came out to myself before I was out to everyone else, and I had nothing to do in the evening, but honestly just do my makeup, particularly my eyeliner, and then wipe it off, and then just do it again. I mean, I was enjoying doing it, and I just thought it was practice, and I mean, I probably do it like 3 or 4 times every single night that I had off, doing nothing else. It's a good way of like getting the sort of repetitions out, learning the muscle memories, learning the shapes. It's definitely one of those things where if you put more time into it, you'll definitely get better. Which is kind of what I'm hoping to do with this YouTube streaming, because obviously this is a total disaster. But maybe in 100 hours of terrible monologuing later I'll be good at it. I've decided that it's too embarrassing for me to continue. Right, how symmetrical are they? So, the wings here aren't symmetrical, but they are recoverable. I don't know if you can see how symmetrical they are. If I go like this, they're quite symmetrical, and when I relax, this one goes up more, and this one kind of goes across more. So what I'm going to do is add stuff to the undersides of the wing, and what I try and do is I try and imagine the two shapes. Like, I've drawn two shapes, and I try and imagine picking one up and mirroring and putting it on top of the other one. And you'll see most of them will overlap, and then one of them will have like, how can I do this? One of them will have like a bit that sticks up, and you need to then add that to the other one. And once kind of you've got to imagine what shapes do you need to add to the shapes you have in order for them to match. And then once you've kind of got that concept, I try and imagine I have three shapes. I have the two that I've done, and then the superset over the top, which covers all of them, which still looks good. And then I try and aim up for that. Yes, makeup maths. Everything about makeup is maths. I love that. Anyone who told you you didn't need maths in later life's an idiot. This is a classic thing that makes me late for work. It's kind of deciding whether it's good enough or I want to scrap it. I'm going to just take the edge off on the right hand side one. So this wet wipe. And I can just draw it back on so it slightly hooks up higher, and it will match the one on the left then. Sometimes when you imagine your like ideal super shape that both the shapes you've drawn fit into, one of them will just poke out too much and you just have to wipe a bit of it off, which is fine. Happens probably like, I don't know, 1 in 3 mornings, 1 in 5 mornings, at least once a week. I'm probably good enough. I'm probably being a bit of a perfectionist now. So, eyeliner, mascara. So this is Maybelline New York Colossal Big Shot Volume Express Mascara Waterproof. Nice catchy name. This is also kind of running out. So a trick I was saying about last time is when you want to do the mascara on your top eyelashes, it really, really does help to have a little handheld mirror and looking down, like as if you're looking at your nostril and looking at your eyelashes that way. And then it's just so much easier to put on. You're much less likely to just jab yourself in the eye at this stage. Though I still might do that, so brace for that. I think this is a really good tip. And also it helps to just have a mirror to do them really close for the bottom ones as well, I think. I used to do all of my makeup in a handheld mirror, and now I've got this like really cool mirror station, which turns out is terrible for streaming YouTube. But I think it does help to have it in handheld. I mean, one problem is everything's because you can't keep both your hands still. But if you start anchoring stuff together, like if I want, when I'm at a music festival or something, I'm doing my eyeliner with a handheld mirror, and I'm holding my mirror still with one hand, and it's connected. I connect my two hands together, and then I'll rest my fingers on my face, and then you've got the least amount, like everything shakes together. otherwise everything's all shaking all separately. And it's another reason why when I'm doing my eyeliner on my eyebrows, I'm not just coming in like, well, I hope I was. I don't know if you're watching me, but usually my hands are like touching somewhere on my face, and it allows it to then be muscle memory rather than just hope. And it also stops the shaking around as much. I'm actually, this is what I'm doing now. My arms are connected, they're resting on my body. It really does help. But they're not connected now. Ta-da! Right, now I'm going to put on some false eyelashes because I'm really enjoying it at the moment. I am enjoying them at the moment. So I've got these like semi-reusable, whatever these are, Eyelure ones. So I've used these ones before, and you can probably see there's sort of like a thick black band, and that's kind of a mix of glue and eyeliner from last time. And I'm just going to use tweezers to pull that off. So otherwise they don't stick as well and they start looking ugly. You can't get it all off, and you have to be quite careful because if you sort of tug them out of shape, then they're dead. So I usually, I don't know how many uses I get out of them. I think sometimes it's just one if I'm really clumsy, like pulling them off, or if I ruin the band when I'm trying to pull the glue off like this. But I mean, some of them probably get like tens of uses out of them. They're only a few pounds, so I think they're quite good. Especially if you only want to use them for going out and you only go out like once a month or something, you could probably get a year's worth out of them. Though obviously throw them away if you get an eye infection, because they could be the cause. And wash all your brushes and tweezers. Burn your bed sheets. Right, so now, you probably can't see these very well. I've taken off the like glue band across the top. So I'm going to hold them like this. And I'm going to put glue across the top and then let it dry out a little bit. Some people only go out once a month, some people only go out once a year, some people only go out once a day. Like, it's all fine. In my like makeup practicing phase, when I was first coming out to myself and stuff, I was doing lots of the alcohols, and I was going out like a lot. So I was either staying and doing makeup, going out and drinking with people, maybe half and half. I did 15 nights out in a row once. Which ended up with 2 birthday parties on the same night. And I went out for dinner with one group and stayed there until 11, and then went to a house party. And I got to this house party and had a few drinks, and it was like 1 AM, and everyone was still like full energy, and I was standing there just like, why am I here? And I decided that never again was I going to do that many nights out in a row, because it was a disaster. I mean, it was good. I still had fun and I still talk to people, but I just burnt out, and then I don't think I saw any more. Oh, that's how much glue I put on. Hardly any. And then hang on. Turns out I can't really talk and do this. So you meant to let the glue dry in air a little bit. First, as it gets more sort of tacky, and then if you leave it too long, it will just fix and it will be useless. Like, I don't know, 30 seconds or something, wave it around, tell some bullshit story about how I used to be drunk, and then then put them on and they'll stick better. So now I'm going to do the same with the other ones. But yeah, if you just go out too much, you just burn out. And then I had like no energy to do anything for ages. And now I'm recovering from surgery, so I haven't really been out much at all recently. Went out last night, but just to a friend's house. Did some guitar. Sorry, just pulling the glue off. Oh, satisfying when you get it all in one go. Yeah. Result. Gotta make sure they're still in the right shape. Oh. So this is like the free crappy glue that comes with the eyelashes. I always have loads of it because they give you this whole pot and it doesn't look like much, but this always lasts longer than the eyelashes. I just have stacks of these. I think it's just like PVA or it's something like that. It doesn't smell very nice. Ugh. Got on my nose. Ugh. Now I can smell it. Grim. Anyway, so I usually... It's annoying, it won't focus on these. But basically I come in and kind of put the glue along the edge and along the top. And I don't use the tip of the like little spatula thing. I use the kind of edge of it. And that way you get, I feel like you get more control over how much you put on. It doesn't really matter if you put, if you put loads of glue on, if you put like a whole handful on, then it'll just be terrible and it dries a big thick blob and it'll probably go in your eye and it'll be a disaster. But if you put slightly too much on, it's not actually that bad because it does dry clear. I'm going to not talk again for a sec. Oh. I strongly, strongly recommend getting some good tweezers for eyebrows, plucking your eyebrows, putting eyelashes on, plucking your nose hair. Don't pluck your nose hair, get one of these. It's like an eyebrow nose hair trimmer. Oh, it's not working. But this is like £7 from Amazon and you can use it for like shortening your eyebrow hairs and stuff and like, which obviously don't need to do. But I do. Right, so the glue, you end up with these kind of like little white spots. That usually goes. I'll wait a few seconds and then sometimes I just put eyeliner over the top of it because sometimes you get a little sort of shiny bit. One of my eyelashes here has managed to get glue on it, so I'm just going to make sure it doesn't glue to the other side. It's not really bad if it does. So, other than potentially my eyebrows being too close together in the middle, which I feel like I always do that at the moment, and I feel like I used to be worse. Some of the old photos I see of my eyebrows, I'm like, what the hell was going on there? Just blending it out with my finger a bit. They are a bit dark. I just don't know. I wonder if I should ease off my eyebrows a little bit. Maybe I'm just kind of growing out of doing them super intense. Anyway, that's like the finished look. The final and most important piece of all is the fixing spray. This is Barry M Matte Finish Mist and Fix Makeup Setting Spray. I've got cat hair on my nose, it's really annoying. Also, the tip of my nose doesn't have any feeling at the moment because it's still recovering. And it means that sometimes one of the nerves wakes up and like, ah! And you can't scratch it because you can't feel it. And there's just an itch inside. It's horrible. Anyway, so I'm going to do the setting spray and then I'm going to wave this fan in my face. My Japanese drying fan. So shake this. I hope this stuff isn't like one of those things that over 50 years or something just builds up into a really horrible carcinogen because I breathe quite a lot of it in. I guess it's just like hairspray, but for your face. So maybe it's toxic, who knows. Yeah, so that's the look. That's dry. Let's take my hair down. I'm going to do a really crappy job with my hair and then I'll be finished. Where is my thick tooth comb? Or no, not thick tooth. What's that called? Not many teeth. Old lady comb. What animal doesn't have many teeth? I've only really got an insect fact here. You're going to get an insect fact. So there's these little things that are like this big, little hopper things. They're like little triangles, and sometimes they'll land on you, and then when you touch them, they're like ping, and they just kind of, not fleas, but like little green, like tiny little grasshoppery things. And they actually, in order to jump, so like defense mechanism, they have their two long grasshopper legs, and they just spring them both down at the same time. And in order to be able to control where they go, up where their legs connect, where their pelvis is, they actually have teeth on the top bones which interlock like this. So when they move one back leg, it forces the other back leg to move. So it means that they always jump in a straight line because their legs go exactly down at the same time, which is a really cool, like little like evolutionary thing that they have. But they discovered that the adults of this like insect didn't have teeth, whereas all of the adolescents did. And they didn't know why, and it turns out that over its life this insect sheds like 7 times or something. And all of the stages apart from the last shed have teeth. And the reason is because when they do use these mechanisms, sometimes the teeth break. And if the teeth break, like scuff up completely, then when they twitch one leg, often it will unlock, and then the legs will be caught out of shape and they can't ever jump in a line again, which is obviously like fatal. Apart from, it's okay because they shed their skin, and when they shed their skin, they grow new teeth. But on the final shed, they're obviously not going to shed again. So instead, they just have friction plates. So they don't have teeth, they just have like 2 surfaces which touch, which don't give them quite as much control, that they can't jump in quite as straight as a line, and they're more likely to go off to one side. But it does mean that they're not going to break a tooth and then just be stuck, because that's when they're finally at their mating age. So, insect fact of the week. Right, anyway, here's my look. I hope you enjoyed the makeup and insect fact session with terrible lighting from me. Bye! Now I've got to work out to turn it off, mate.